I always tell people, if you want to get to know me, listen to my music. I feel like a lot of my music is very, very vulnerable. I make very vulnerable music. I like to put my feelings out there because that's, in my opinion, that's what the art is for.
Yeah.
You know, and then you get people, the audience, to connect with you in that aspect, you know?
All right, vamos. Welcome to another episode. Hear me and beer me. You know, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit it. If you haven't liked the video, like it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that right now. I'm here with a very special guest on this episode of Hear Me and Beer Me. An6re, what's up, man?
What's going on, bro?
Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you, man. It's good to see you, bro. Thank you, man.
Yeah, for sure. You too. Let's talk about like how this came about. You know, I think when I had Berto on, you kind of like liked the post or something, right? And I kind of like, you know, I'll get a like from people. And I'm like, oh, who's that? You know, I go to your page. I'm like, damn, this music kind of fire. Like, who is this, you know? And I don't think you were living here at the time.
No.
So I was kind of confused. I'm like, you know, who, like, I obviously didn't know who you were.
Right.
And I'm like, you know, I'm going to just follow and see what's up. And then, you know, you hit me back and I'm like, I'm going to try to get him on. But then I realized you didn't live here. So I was like, damn, like, you know.
You hit me at the perfect time.
Yeah, hell yeah. I actually saw McLovin, shout out McLovin. He's
Shout out
actually here right now.
That's my guy, yeah.
I saw him post you, like, you guys were out or something. And I'm like, oh shit, he's here right now. I was like, dude, let me hit him, like, you know, see if he's still here, you know, we could get him on. And you're like, no, like, I came back, but you moved back now.
I moved back on Saturday. I just got here 5 days ago.
So you moved back, what, from San Francisco?
I was living in a suburb of San Francisco named Santa Rosa, so about like an hour north of San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long were you there?
Man, I was there probably 4 years. About 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah, in California.
No way. Dude, why did I think you were there for like 6 months and shit?
Nah,
like,
bro. I moved probably like 2020, end of 2020, 2021.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
And I've been there ever since, man. And I think the first time I came back here, it was probably like a year or two into living there. I was like, okay, I gotta go home.
So you were gone for a good while.
I was gone for a while, yeah.
Shit, dude. How did you like that? How did you like living over there?
I loved it, bro. I mean, in a sense, besides, let's take away all the like financial shit.
Yeah.
It was, California's beautiful, bro. The people are amazing. Like, I built a community out there, you know. With what I was doing with music, you know, it really worked for me. So I loved it, dude. I can't complain about Cali at all. It's in a sense, though, Santa Rosa feels very small, you know, like kind of like Waukegan, you know, it's like very small suburb, but it's beautiful.
What led to the move, or what, like, ultimately?
I had a brother that lived out there in this little ass town called Sebastopol. And it's in wine country, Sonoma County. If you ever heard of Sonoma County, is where like the very known for wine, you know. And
is that like Napa Valley type?
Yeah,
all that?
so
okay.
Napa is the county next door to Sonoma.
Got it.
It's the one right next to us. Yeah. And then so my cousin had actually, COVID was going on. I was living in Honduras at the time, and he convinced me to go out there to visit him. So I went to go visit my brother, and I stayed there for like a month. I fell in love with it, and because of COVID, I decided not to go back to Honduras. I decided to just, you know, stay in Cali. So I ended up coming here to pick up all my stuff, my car and everything, and I left to California.
Damn. That's dope, man. That's cool to just kind of pick up and go like that.
Yeah.
And then not come back for like a couple years?
Yeah, it was bad. One of the craziest decisions of my life, for sure.
What would you say you missed most, like, about home? Like, other than, like, family, you know? Like, is there anything that you felt like, damn, like, we don't have this here and we do back at home? Or, like, you were just like, I'm never going back, like, that kind of vibe?
Deep dish pizza, bro.
I could see that.
But, nah, realistically, I missed, of course, you know, family, friends. I did miss, like, my friends a lot, bro, because you know what it's like when you grow up with people, as opposed to like now you have to, as an adult, you got to meet new people, learn how to trust people again, and stuff like that. And so I miss that a lot. I miss soccer because I play soccer out here. I literally grew up playing soccer with everyone out here. So out there, it was hard to like get into a soccer community. You know?
Right. Did you find one at all?
Yeah, I did. But it was tough, bro, because I was like the only Honduran there. I'm from Honduras. You know? I'm literally the only Honduran there, bro. Like I tell you, I probably never met a single Honduran out there.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I'd have to go to all the way to San Francisco to like go to a Honduran restaurant or meet a Honduran, you know. But other than that, like where I was at, it was nothing but like Salvis, Guatemalans, you know. Nah, Hondureños. There was no Hondurans.
That's crazy because you think of like Waukegan, and Waukegan's kind of like a melting pot of like everybody.
everyone.
Like you meet all kinds of people, and I mean obviously like Chicago's an extension of that, and New York and stuff like that. So you would think Cali, but maybe you were a little bit too north, right? Like
I was a little north from the city for sure.
Yeah.
It was a little different. Yeah, it's more, you know, it's a very diverse area. Don't get me wrong, Santa Rosa is very diverse, but not like in the aspect of a lot of Central Americans for sure. So that community, I did miss that a lot, bro. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and soccer is. Did you get into? We were talking earlier that like you also golf. Did you get into golf while you were out there, or that started over here?
No, I got into golf when I lived in Florida. So when I was like 17, I moved to Florida, to Tampa, and I had a cousin. His name's Matthew. Shout out Matthew, and he got me into golf. He took me to a driving range once, and that's when I like fell in love with it. And then I'd come back here and I'd play golf with McLovin. And him and I would go out. We'd play like 9 holes, you know, here and there. And then that's when I started to like actually take it serious. And then I moved to California. I got a job out there on a golf course where I was able to play for free. And I started playing out there. Invited my homie Zaylani, and we would just go out there. And you know, I think the last 2 months we probably played like 3-4 times a week, just back to back, bro.
Yeah, dude. And we were saying too, bro, like the views out there, like obviously compared to here, you know, you get mountains out there, like
Beautiful.
I mean. Fucking Pebble Beach and all that, you know, like damn, dude, I want to go, dude. I regret waiting so long to like get into golf because I've been places that I think about and I'm like, dude, I wonder how the courses are there. Like I've been to, you know, San Diego, I've been to fucking Seattle, bro, and I'm just thinking like, I wonder what freaking courses are out there that I can get in. Yeah, now though, like it's a good thing because I want to go back to all those places, you know. Before I was kind of like I already did all I had to do there, but now I'm like nah, like I want to go back there, you know. But dude, that's so you've lived here, you lived in Florida, you lived in
Honduras, I lived in. I've been everywhere, bro.
That's sick, bro. Yeah. That's dope. I mean, you grew up here then?
I was born and raised here.
Okay. And how long were you? You said 17, and then you finally like moved out there.
Yeah, when I was like 16, 17, I dropped out of high school and I went to Florida for a little bit.
Yeah, and so I guess this is kind of like we're kind of touching on your childhood, like stuff like that. It's kind of a good segue into what got you into music then. Like, how old were you when you decided to start pursuing something like that?
So. The first song I ever made was because of my brother Ian. Shout out to him. He was a producer and he lived in LA throughout most of my childhood with his dad. We had different fathers. And so one time I went to LA when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and he had a studio in his house, like a big ass studio. And he told me like we should record a song. So he made a beat and then we recorded 2 songs. I was 7 or 8 years old. I was super young, man. And then that's when I knew that like I loved music because I looked up to my brother so much. You know, I was like, man, this guy is so dope. He makes the craziest beats. Like I want to be like him. You know. My dad was also a DJ. My dad was a DJ. He spoke at like different radio stations. You know, my dad was very involved in like music and entertainment. So that to me was also just another inspiration. You know, and I'd have my dad in the basement and he'd be, you know, doing his mixes and stuff. And I'd be down there with him and, you know, just shit like that, bro. But I didn't actually get into music till I was probably like 14, 15. I was like a freshman in high school. And I had bought my first mic. You know, my grandma had just bought me a laptop, which I still have to this day. And that's where I started. I started just making English music, and it was terrible. It was the worst fucking music in the world, bro.
I gotta hear that after this.
It was ass, bro. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do.
You were like freestyling and shit, right? I could see that. We all did that.
I would tell my homies to pull up, like, yo, let's record some shit. We'd record some dumbass shit, bro. Like, you know, stuff like that. But I love doing it, bro. I love doing it. So, but I never got into like, at this point in my life, I didn't get into like the artistry part of it. So I wasn't like an artist like that. I was doing music for myself, but I wasn't putting it out like that. I got into more of the engineering side of things, so mixing and mastering music. out here in Waukegan, I ended up like working at a studio for a little bit where I was engineering for different artists. And once I moved to California, that's when I finally was like, man, I need to switch it up. And I got into making like reggaeton and Spanish music, stuff like that.
Is that what you grew up listening to though, like reggaeton and Spanish music like that?
Yeah, bro.
Or kind of like a little bit of everything.
I was on everything. I mean, I feel like my family is very, when it comes to that, they always had like open mind and mentality to music. But mainly because of my pops, my mom being from Honduras, it was always like Spanish music for sure.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. I mean, you kind of found your lane in a way like that. And you kind of grew up around music to the point where I could see that being a natural transition like that. I mean, dude, like, I love music and all that. And that's why I'm kind of, like, dumbfounded by the fact that, like, someone pursues something like that. Because I love music, right? Don't get me wrong. But I just know, like, I can't make, like, I don't have the voice. Like, I don't have the creative side for that. Like, all of that, So for you to be...
tap into it, though.
Yeah, I mean, nah, bro. You don't wanna like, dude. Honestly, I've always wanted to just make a song, but I'm afraid of how terrible it's gonna sound.
That's okay, bro. I mean, Yeah, but I mean, look at you with the podcast stuff,
Man, hop on with me then.
I'll do it, bro. Hey, bro, I got the equipment. We got everything.
Man,
we can
dude,
do something, bro. Whatever you want.
That'd be insane, actually. But nah, dude. Like I said, bro, I don't like, when you don't have it, you don't have it, and it's like. For you to be able to like kind of tell like, hey, I could actually do this, it's kind of like dope in a sense like that, dude. I was like bumping your song like the 4K one, cause that dude like I know dude, like I know like I'm not trying to like hype you up like that right now and shit, but for real, bro, like I like that song. Like I'm not just saying that cause you're on here. I was legit like dude, what's the like hook part, bro? Actually, I wrote it down. It's fucking. Tú lo que quieres es que te... How you gotta say it, bro.
A ti te pongan 4K y comerte todo.
Bro, oh my god, dude, like every good song has like a little like something like that where it's like it's different, like it kind of stands out,
Yeah.
And that's what that song has, and I'm like, man, like
that song has a funny story, bro. I had actually just gotten onto like Chilean, like people, Chile, they're coming up in the reggaeton, Chris MJ, Floyd Menor, An6re, all these guys, right? They're coming up from Chile, and they have a different style of reggaeton music. Theirs is very like boom, 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 it's very fast.
And the voice kind of sounds like far away too, right?
They have some crazy ass shit, bro, and they innovated like reggaeton. They innovated it, bro. They made it something that it wasn't, and so if like Gata Only, like, that song blew up, right? So I had discovered Floyd Menor and Chris MJ prior to them like dropping Gata Only. And I went on YouTube. I had found like this beat, this Chile type beat, Chile reggaeton type beat. I come across the beat for 4K, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make some shit. I'm gonna do something to this. Next thing I know, bruh, Gata Only fucking releases. And so for a while, like I had this song in the vault, and I'm like, damn, this shit sounds
the same. Yeah,
it's the same style, right? So it's gonna sound similar. I was like, man, that's cool. Fuck it, I'm gonna drop it because they're getting on, like they're blowing up off of that shit. So I was like, I might as well hop on the wave, and I put it out, bro, and 4K has probably been one of my like most successful songs.
Yeah, I mean, dude, because it's got that, and like it's very similar in a sense to like Gata Only, where it's kind of like, you're right, it's got like kind of like a tempo, like it kind of like goes, like that. But yeah, dude, it's crazy how like reggaeton is kind of in waves, because
wherever you go.
Yeah, it's like in one point it's kind of like obviously like we're gonna go way back now, but like the trap, and then like that had its era, and it kind of changed, and now it's like there was even a point where like the Argentinians were kind of having their moment, and like now it moved over to the Chilenos, like it's insane. I mean, Colombia is like super mainstream now, I think.
Wherever you go, bro, in Latin America, you're gonna hear a different type of reggaeton. You go to Mexico with Peso Pluma. You know,
Yeah,
like he's
yeah.
on that, you know, like stuff like that is a different lane, you know, Becky G, stuff like that. You go to Honduras, it's like they got raspe, you know, they are like, you know, it's very Caribbean like, you
Yeah.
know, but it's still like a subgenre of reggaeton, you know. You go down to Panama, you know, it's more like reggaeton, you know, where they actually invented reggaeton, you know. And then you go to like Puerto Rico, where that's where it was innovated and where it becomes mainstream. Colombia, it's hella different accents, like Fercho, everyone is different. You go to Argentina, Chile, like these people, all these countries, bro, have their own style of reggaeton. And the funny thing is that no matter where what they do, it's always gonna come up to that one topic, which is reggaeton.
Yeah,
Know?
and I think that's why it's so global because I mean you can like connect with all these different ones, you know, and like pick up all these different things from each separate one.
Exactly.
What would you say though? Like is like if you're asking me to kind of describe you, like compare you to someone, I would say you got like a Jay Wheeler kind of like because you know yours is kind of like you can go like dude, what's that? I don't know what the song name is, but it's the first song off his like latest album, where he has Arcangel kind of like do the intro, and then he like raps. I think it's called Trapi, if I'm not mistaken, or something. But he kind of like talks his shit, and I'm like, damn, I never seen Jay Wheeler do that.
But it's funny because Jay Wheeler is actually like one of my biggest influences.
Oh yeah,
see,
I could see the and then he can also switch to where like he sings,
he's very
which
versatile.
yeah, which you also have some of that. So that's why I kind of like kind of when I was listening to your stuff, it's like oh, it's reminiscent of. You know, and I'm not saying like you're copying him or not,
bro,
that, but
bro, I love that shit because it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Because imagine like you're Jay Wheeler and people are, you know, comparing other artists to him. He probably feels like, oh, like this is dope. You know, I'm doing something right. And so I know that I'm doing something right when someone's like, oh, you sound like this artist, this mainstream artist, you know? It just makes me feel a little bit more better.
Nah, for real, dude. Nah, but it's true though, man. Like for sure. Like I'm telling you, I was like listening, and I kind of always do that, even with like the people that come up, you know, like when I'm listening to like you were saying, like Cris MJ, Fue Menor, whatever. You kind of try to see like I can see what lane they're trying to get into, like you know, or who they were kind of inspired by. And sure enough, you always hear them like in interviews, and you're kind of like like I see it, you know, it makes sense, yeah, because you have to model your thing. Even like in soccer, bro, like everyone talks. Yeah, everyone talks about like who their favorite player was growing up, and it's like
and then you watch him play, and you're like, yo.
Yeah, like it makes sense. Yeah, like fucking Mbappe was obsessed with Ronaldo and shit.
McLovin used to be obsessed with this dude named Muma from Honduras.
Sheesh. Plays just like him or what? Damn, man. Shout out to my boy Muma. Whatever that is, man. Man, bro. I get the feeling he's not a dog, you know? I'm getting the feeling he's not a dog. Fucking.
No, he is. He was.
He was? Sheesh. Nah, dude, but you know what? Like, is he that uncle that like tells you like, man, like I would have made it, you know? But he's like,
no. Actually, Muma is actually a real player from Honduras, bro.
Oh
he
yeah,
played center back. Nigga was a beast, bro. He was a beast.
Man, you guys are fucking with me right now.
No, we're dead serious, man. Bro. Dead serious, bro. Dead serious.
How the fuck you spell Muma, bro? Ain't spell Muma. M-U-M-A.
It beer me, son. Leave that shit out, bro. Leave that shit out. Take that shit out. Muma's ass. Muma's ass.
Muma Honduras.
For real, nigga, take that shit out.
Wait.
Can we cut it?
Is this Victor Renardes? Is that who you guys are talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, he looks good. What you mean?
He was decent, bro.
26 matches, 0 goals. Oh, he's a center back, you said? Damn. You know who I remember from Honduras is the only one is fucking what the fuck? Damn. This kind of fucked up now that I remember his name. Huh?
No, tomate lang. We need more beers, bro.
Oh yeah? Bro, I have a shit ton of ultras in the garage.
You want an ultra?
Yeah, I'll take ultra.
Bro, I haven't even opened this, man.
Where are they?
They're in the garage actually. But low key, it might be locked.
This man really said Muma.
They almost say
Nah, he's a dog, bro, but he's dirty as hell. Oh, my boy went pro, man.
Yeah, something like that.
Pro with what?
Soccer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, something like that.
No way.
A little something.
Oh, you gotta get into that now.
We can get into
Like
it.
right now.
Right now? So when I lived in Honduras, so actually I moved to Honduras because the reason was because I had gotten an opportunity to go play soccer out there. Yeah, second division.
When was this?
This was like 2019, 2018, 2019.
Mamu recruited you or what?
Something like that.
Or Mamu?
No, my dad he was connected with this guy who he used to be a coach in Honduras. He like had retired already. And my dad had told him, like, my son, he's really good, he plays soccer, I want him to come like try out, and so the guy was looking around for teams and he found a team in Ceiba, which is where we're from, La Ceiba, Honduras. And so he told me to fly out there to go do like a preseason tryout thing, because at the time, the season hadn't even started yet. So I went, I tried out for the team, and they got me on. I never started though. Like I never debuted. Like I got the whole professional experience, the uniforms, the kit managers, the buses, fucking flying in planes to get to the next game, like fucking the stadiums. I got the whole experience, bro. The locker rooms, like the whole professional experience. Such a blessing. But I played one preseason game, but throughout the season I never even
debut.
I never even made the 22 list, bro. Like I was like one in the reserves.
Okay.
So and COVID struck.
Did you get paid?
No.
Nah.
I was playing on this team that was like so broke, bro, that they didn't even pay their players. So, and especially because COVID was happening. So because of COVID, a lot of the players weren't getting paid. Only like the top guys, like the guys who have been in the league for years, those were the only guys that were getting paid. So because of that and because of COVID, I that's when I moved to Cali.
Yeah.
I was like, I got the whole experience. It was fun. Vámonos.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, you see that a lot though with like even in Mexico, like with like segunda, tercera, like ligas like that. Dude, I think I might be butchering this, but they make something like $300 like USD like a month or something like that. Like they get paid scraps, bro.
Nothing compared to like Honduras, bro. Motherfuckers out there were making $50 a month, bro.
That's insane, right? To think about. I mean, and like it's like dudes chasing their dream, Like that's what
these guys have. Like I witnessed guys. I played with guys who had nothing, bro. They'd walk to practice, take a taxi to practice because these guys, they didn't have what maybe the opportunities that we have, or the opportunities that a lot of the players that have been in the league for a long time have.
Yeah. Are you familiar at all with Alexis Vega?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Did you ever watch the video he made about I think
was it him who used to you're talking about like how he used to roll to like practices on the bus and shit, like
yeah, that, and he said that they had a tournament. I think he was playing with like Pumas or something, like the like the minor leagues or whatever, and that for him they had a tournament here in the US, and for him to be able to go, that his parents like sold all their furniture, bro. So he like walked in one day, there's no fucking furniture, and he's like, what happened? And they're like, we sold it so you could go to the tournament. And it's like he dude, like he was like bawling. He was on the podcast saying that, and he like was bawling, dude, like talking about that. I'm like, dude, that's still probably like a core memory to him. And he's like, that's insane, like to have to do things like that. Because then you think about all the people that did that, like per se their parents, and they didn't make it, like there's probably so many more stories of people that didn't make it versus like him that actually did. Which is crazy.
It's crazy that soccer, I think anything in life that has to do with like you can be a professional, just one, I feel like it takes network, like knowing people. And then two, it takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of dedication. Like Alexis Vega was very dedicated to his craft, every day in and day out, So, yeah, a lot of people just tend to give up. And that's why, they tend not to make it.
That's like with anything. It's like they say like, they say something like preparation, like opportunities when preparation meets luck or something like that. Like you gotta be ready for when the moment comes. So like even though you're like, damn, I'm doing all this and I'm just trying to like for nothing basically. Yeah. It's like, dude, when that one opportunity comes, if you aren't ready, like because of all those years of not preparing hard enough, then it's not gonna be worth it. So
my dad always told me, bro, that God gives you blessings, and if you don't use his blessings, he takes them away from you.
Damn, that's kind of deep, dude. Not gonna lie. Yeah,
so
yeah.
God blesses you with a bunch of things in life, bro. He blesses you with a good family or whatever, or
Yeah.
a talent in soccer, let's say, you know, and you're super talented, but you chose to not play soccer, he takes that away from you, you know? But that doesn't mean he won't create another opportunity for you, because God does that. It's how he works, you know?
Yeah.
But if you don't use those blessings, you're gonna take them away and someone else is gonna get it, you know?
Yeah. Are you of the belief that like things are already kind of written out, like how they're supposed to happen,
Like,
but it's like up to you
like being
to,
born with a star, like they say.
yeah, I mean, it's like, dude, like you're born to be like a fucking like soccer player, let's say, right? But it's like you make choices along life that could ultimately get you there. But if you don't make if you don't play your cards right, like you're not gonna get there. But it's like, is everyone born like you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, or is it like different? What do you think?
That's such a hard question, bro, because I feel like everything happens for a reason. Like, I am a big believer in that coincidences are fake. Like, there's no such thing as a coincidence. There's no such thing that this isn't a coincidence that we're sitting here. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no such thing as a coincidence. So I don't think that people are necessarily born with that star, but I think, you know, like, I think that the universe does give us a purpose. Like, we all do have a purpose to fulfill in this life. And there's just some people tend to not fulfill that purpose, and they tend to become like lost souls, you know. But then there's the people that do fulfill that purpose, you know. And that just it just has to do with the person. Like for me, I feel like I said, I was talking about the whole blessings thing, you know. I think God blessed me with a talent in soccer, you know. And for my whole life, my childhood, I thought I was gonna be a professional soccer player, you know. And you could say that I did it, and I could sit here and tell you, like, I did experience it, but it wasn't what I wanted to. I wanted to play for Barcelona, nigga. Like, you know, I wanted to, like, get up, you know.
Yeah,
but that didn't happen, you know. But I also didn't let that beat me down. I also knew that, like, okay, that wasn't my purpose. My purpose, I thought that's what my purpose was, but I discovered that I had another purpose, you know, which was music.
Yeah.
And I never thought about music the way that I do now, because music has always been in my life. It always has been in my life, but I never paid attention to it until I, you know, stopped doing soccer and I started to take it more serious. I was like, fuck, like, I can do something with this, and I can reach a whole community. I can reach different people through my voice, you know, and that's where we're at.
That's like, it's interesting that you say that had you been chasing the soccer thing, you know, like just constantly, and not been able to kind of be like, okay, let me step back from this, you wouldn't have fallen into music. It's interesting because they say, like, you were talking about this whole purpose thing, and I had like one quote in mind the whole time. They say, like, people think that that your goal in life is to find your purpose, but it's actually to create your purpose,
to fulfill it.
Yeah, that too, right? But it's like, people think like, oh, like, I can't find it, I don't know what it's like, dude, no, like, create it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, I know, like that's kind of like we're getting a little deep and shit, you know, but like yeah, dude, I really do believe in that. I really do think that the worst thing that anybody could do is like want to do something or pursue something and kind of hold back from doing it, because, you know, whether they believe like, oh, like I can't, or like, what are people gonna say, like, for whatever reason, it's like, no, if you're feeling it inside of you for whatever reason, it's like you said, there's no coincidence. It's for a reason. Yep. It's like, do it, dude. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
Get in your way is you.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
I when I was living in California, bro, I mean, I took music. I still take music. It's my number one thing. That's what I do. But I was very serious. I was very on top of it. I was doing shows almost every other weekend, back to back, shows after show after show, different venues, you know, stuff like that. But I remember my first ever show, bro. I was so fucking nervous, dog. Like,
yeah, you should
I was
be,
scared as fuck. I almost pussied out, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this, cause fuck that, you know. But I did it, and it was probably one of the best shows of my life. It was so much fun, you know, and that taught me that I had nothing to prove to nobody but myself. You know, like, I don't owe anyone anything. I owe myself so much, though. You know, like, that taught me that I can do whatever I wanted. If I can step on a stage in front of 350 people for the first time ever, I can do anything I want. I can put my mind to, you know. And if I don't do it, it's because I'm stopping myself from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and yeah, bro, that taught me so much. Just performing for the first time like that. These little things teach you such crazy valuable life lessons.
What is that like? Like, what does like the lead up to performing? What does that entail? Like, you have a performance that night. What does your day kind of go like? Do you have like specific rituals or something like that?
It depends. I feel like it depends. When I first started performing, when I was just getting into it, I was doing a show here and there. I'd get really fucking nervous at first, bro. Like I would sit there with my homies and I'd be like, yo, I need a break real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be listening to my set on my phone. They'd know that I was hella nervous. They would try to get me drunk. They'd be like, yo, here, have a drink. Like, you need to relax, but I'd be like, nah, I need to be sober, And so I never necessarily really had like a ritual like that. But eventually, I got into like getting more comfortable with it.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, I started to realize that the only thing that was holding me back was me. So I kind of, I would just go into it knowing that like whatever happens, it was gonna happen. So one thing that I did do was like breath work. Like before a show, like I make sure that I breathe and I settle my nerves. Before I go on stage. But there's not really like I don't have like a set thing that I do every time. I know not to get too drunk because I made that mistake before where, we gotten too drunk and shit goes south.
Yeah.
So
like me with this podcast.
That's one thing I try not to do is like over drink before I go on. Now, once I'm done with my set, I come off and get as fucked up as I want, But,
yeah. You said your first show was like your best show, but what's been your favorite show, you would say, like of the ones you've done? And where was that at?
Fuck, bro, I've done so many shows. I think my favorite one, I have two favorites. I mean, not that they're my favorite. I just think that it was an amazing experience I have had gone through.
Mm-hmm.
One of them I performed at. Shout out my homie Sugarcane. He's a DJ from San Francisco. We performed at this place called the DNA Lounge in downtown SF. It wasn't that big of a crowd, but the stage was fucking incredible, bro. It was a venue where like Prince had performed before, like all these artists that have come to, even like big reggaetoneros had come to this venue and have had big shows there, and we got the opportunity to perform on that same stage with like our band, a band that we would work with, and that one right there was super dope because it was just, man, it was such an experience, bro. Like that was one of my first times like being on an actual like venued stage, if that makes sense, like a stage with like professional lighting, a stage with like an actual audio engineer mixing your sound, you know. We were performing live, like we had live auto tune, like shit like that, so that was one of them. And another one that was my favorite was we headlined, me and my ex-girlfriend, shout out her, Days Margarita, we headlined the show together out there in Santa Rosa. We got the opportunity this venue hit us up and they wanted us to be the headliners. So we had like 3 or 4 acts open up for us, and then we headlined it with like a 45-minute set. And bro, there was probably like 250, 300 people in the venue, like this nice ass venue. And it was such a fucking vibe, man, because that was like the first time that I had actually gotten the opportunity to like headline a show, and people had came to like watch me, watch her. Like it was so dope, man. That's definitely up there for sure.
Yeah, I can't imagine the feeling of like how you said being in the same, I guess, where in the same venue, in the same stage where these, artists that are legends performed, you kind of feel like, damn, like I'm in the, presence of these guys. Because the only thing I can relate that to is like, dude, like I've gone to like a Bulls game and I'll like, the floor, you're like, touching the fucking court and you're like, dude, Jordan played and you're like, I can't imagine though, like, actually getting to perform in the same spot as some of these people did. Bro. I don't even think we touched on this.
We didn't even find out. Sorry, we didn't even find out that like those artists had performed there till like after.
After the fact. Oh, that's
yeah.
sick.
We were like eating at the restaurant next door, and they had all the like artists that had performed on that stage on this thing on this wall. It was so dope.
I bet that just like elevated it too. You're like,
It made it so much better.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
And you know what? That might have been a blessing in disguise, because had you known this, I feel like maybe you would have gotten into it more nervous. Like, damn, like these guys have done it there. Like, I'm going here, you know. Maybe that. We had something we haven't touched on that I feel like we just talked about, because, you know, we're kind of all here hanging out talking about, is the fact that you moved back now.
Yeah.
So you were out there in San Francisco for X amount of years, 4 or 5 years, you said. So now that you're back, what kind of plans do you have moving forward? Like, you know, you kind of have to like build a community out here and kind of, you know, not start from scratch per se, but what does that look like?
It is a fresh start. I think right now my thing is, you know, obviously trying to get my name back up here. You know, I feel like when I left, I had created like a community, but you know, once you leave for such a long amount of time, you tend to like lose that community. You know, so right now I'm kind of just here with the mentality of like, okay, it's kind of like a fresh start again. You know, I gotta take what I have done already and try to just elevate myself here. I already have like my community with my friends and stuff that, you know, they help me as much as they can and they support me as much as they can. So yeah, right now the thing is trying to get like shows. You know, my goal is to, you know, start performing at different venues in the area, getting my name up like that. Of course, releasing more music. You know, I feel like all the music that I have out right now, I've released, but out there, you know, so
yeah.
Who haven't really been connected with me out here don't really know about that music, you know, because it's older. So right now the thing is trying to market and advertise to like the audience that I have here, you know.
Yeah, that's a good way, and I mean, you're not really like boxed in, because Waukegan's like an hour drive from the city, so it's, you know, it's not like you're kind of in the middle of nowhere now. You're coming back to something where there's a lot of opportunity, and you know, mixing in some of those connections, I'm sure it's gonna be cool, man. But I mean, like you said, it's like a fresh start in a way,
right?
You know, what led to you coming back or deciding to come back, you think?
Man, so like I was saying, I was in a relationship for quite some time. The person that I was in a relationship with, very talented artist herself. We kind of are, you know, on like this little hiatus in the relationship where we're kind of just, you know, taking space, and we need to be able to get back to the good stuff, right, for now, you know. And because of that, that was kind of one of the big reasons as to like why I was like, you know what, let me go back to a place where I know I have a lot of support, a lot of, you know, my family, my friends. That'll probably be what's best for me at the moment, you know. And so I grabbed my stuff, came out here, and I'm here. I'm here, bro.
Yeah, wow. No, I mean, because I saw you came out here maybe like a month ago or so. Had you already decided to come back when you came to visit? Or when you came to visit, you made that decision, like, you know what, I'm going to go back home?
When I came to visit, that's when I already knew. Like, I kind of already had it in the back of my mind that, like, you know what, I probably should go back home soon. But when I came back, you know, I saw my people again, my family. That really like convinced me, you know, everyone convinced me.
Yeah.
You
know, so who do you have out here? Like your parents, your siblings, everyone. Like everybody?
I had everyone out here, bro. Everyone's here. Like everyone I grew up with, my family, everyone.
Yeah. I could see it being tough to, you know, just kind of isolate yourself and be somewhere else like that.
Yeah. No, and then out there I had one sister, but she lived like an hour away from me, so I never really got to see her. My brother that I had moved with out there, he, you know, he had his son, and he just decided to come back here to.
Oh, so he had already come back.
He left. Yeah, he left.
Got it.
And then, other than that, like out there, I had, you know, my homie Zaylani. Shout out Zaylani. He's here right now.
Shout out Zaylani.
You know, homie took care of me, him and his family, so he's also like family. But you know, it's a slight difference when you have that compared to like your actual, you know, your family that you came up with, you grew up with out here. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're here.
Yeah, we're on this pod, dude.
We're on the pod, bro. Everything happens for a reason, man.
I mean, dude, it's like I said at the top, like, you know, I kind of peeped. I'm like, dude, I don't think he like lives here. I think he's from here, doesn't live here. And I saw you were out here. I'm like, oh man, like let me tell him to slide. But you had already left, and you know what? Actually, I think I DM'd you, And then I kind of went. I don't know if I saw your story. I saw something. I'm like, dude, I don't even think he's here anymore. I'm like, fuck. And then you're like, dude, I'm actually like gonna go back, and I'm like, shit.
No such thing as coincidences, bro.
Yeah, right. So I'm glad you came and hopped on, man. Though for
Thank you,
sure.
bro. I appreciate you for having me, bro. This is so dope, man. You're doing such a great job, bro.
Dude. I mean, dude, like I said, I don't think I had done an interview in like a couple months.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like really nice hopping back into it and like such an easy flowing conversation, whatever. There is one more thing though that I have for you that I kind of want to incorporate into like the show moving forward. I'm trying to have like a little segment, which is something that I haven't had before.
Let's do it.
So I've got my notes here. I'm basically just gonna give you options and we can kind of like talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Segment is called "You Could Never," and this is kind of the first time I'm introducing it. So forgive me if I butcher it a little bit.
Let's do it, bro.
So obviously, with this being a show about beer, it's in the name. We kind of have it while we're going on the show.
Right.
My first "You Could Never" is gonna be. I'm gonna give you 5 options, all right, and it's gonna be you could never have a beer anymore, like at this specific spot.
Okay.
So of the 5, you gotta choose one of them. Like which one would you just like never do it again?
Okay.
So you could never have a beer at a sporting event, aka like you can't go to a Cubs game in April, like that first day that's nice out.
Right.
Pop open a nice cold one on the bleachers.
Right.
No more. You could never pop open a beer at the beach anymore. That means you go to Cancun, you go to Puerto Vallarta. No more beers there.
Okay.
You can never pop open a beer at the bar. So that means wherever you go at night, after you perform at a bar, like you just can't have one. You can never have one at a concert. So that includes your own concert. Like, you perform, you can't do it anymore. Or you can never have one again on your birthday. So let me run those back again. Sporting event, beach, bar, concert, your birthday. On your birthday.
Fuck, bro.
Which one you're not having a beer anymore?
Damn, I'm gonna have to say birthday.
Because that's only one day out of the year.
It's only one day.
That's insane that we have the same like exact thought process. Because that was my option.
That's one day I could drink Saturday if my birthday's on a Wednesday. You know.
Yeah. Could you imagine those 24 hours though? Like just knowing you can't. Dude, I would I would go to work that day. Like I would like sleep half the day. Like just anything to not think about.
I'd go on do not disturb. So nobody hits me up.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm going, fuck that.
I
can't drink today.
I was gonna throw instead of birthday. I was gonna throw the airport in there.
Nah, I don't even.
Bro, that might be my favorite beer. Like my favorite place to have a beer is the airport.
Yep. I had one in Midway when I was flying back to SF. I was like, damn, this is a good ass beer.
Yeah, because like you weren't going on vacation, you were going back home.
Going back home.
But when you're going on vacation and you have that airport beer, it's like that's when it starts.
It starts the vacation, right?
You know what I hate though, dude? So we go to Mexico, like I don't know, like most likely in September we will go or like January because they have like fiestas out there or whatever. So it's weird. They always only offer like flights that are like kind of late. So it's kind of like at 1 a.m. or like 12 whatever. So by the time you get there, unless you get there really early, they're like closing down the bar there. Yeah. And there's only one bar at Terminal 5 in O'Hare. And they close at 11, so I'm like, dude, fuck it. I'm gonna be at the airport for 3+ hours because I wanna have my beer there. You know what I mean?
Get 3 shots on the plane, bro.
Yeah, the little.
Get 3 little Tito's.
What do they call it? The shooters.
Yeah.
Little shooters. Nah, you're right about that, dude.
Yeah, bro. That's a good segment. I like that.
What do you think?
Come on, bro. When I'm on here, bro, I wanna know like about you too, bro. It's not just about me. It's hear me and beer me.
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. I feel like I've answered this though before, but I mean, dude, like this will be some people's first time watching and shit like that.
Yeah.
But how did you tee it up again? You see that golf reference I made? You seen that?
How did you get into podcasting? Like what inspired you to be like, man, I want to get to know about different people?
I think it had a lot to do with like kind of what we touched on earlier, like where I was saying like, dude, like, if something is kind of like hinting like behind, in the back of your head, like, dude, do this, like you should do it. dude, because I watch a bunch of podcasts. Like, I listen to them, I watch them, like, literally, like, just like even short ones, long ones, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
that sounded kind of like sus.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
No
No
Diddy.
Diddy, bro. But,
No Diddy.
oh, man, dude.
Cheers to
We're
no
cutting
Diddy,
that.
bro.
We're cutting that. But, yeah, dude. So, I'll watch whatever. And, and dude, it got to the point where I'm like, dude, like, I need to do that. Like, it got to the point where I couldn't watch because I was just,
Right.
I would be watching and I would space out because I would just start thinking like, dude, I would have asked the question like this, or dude, why didn't he ask him that, or dude, like what is their camera setup? Like they keep moving, like it got to that point. And funny story, like actually, I ordered, dude, this was during COVID 2020. I ordered this like $200 like Amazon podcast kit, and it had everything. It had like mics, it had like like all the stuff. It had headphones, it had the box, like the mixer, all that, right? And dude, like I don't know what didn't work on it, but something didn't work. Like it was obviously, dude, $200, like that's cheap as fuck. And so that kind of discouraged me in a way. I took it as like a sign, like this is like, dude, yeah, it didn't work. Like this was a dumb idea, like kind of like that. But dude, it was like gnawing at me still. Even like after that, I'm like, dude, no, like you should do that.
Right.
So I kind of like took a while to kind of start it up, and I kind of wanted to see really what I wanted to do with it, like what direction I wanted to take it in. Like, was it just gonna be me on here yapping? Like, was it gonna be like a sit down with people? And ultimately, I decided on that because I feel like it's kind of important to give people that are like within like the community, or like exploring their craft, or like showcasing their talents, a platform,
Right.
so that we can kind of like expose those people to something
Right,
better.
bro, of course.
Yeah, because
We
there's
live-
a story
we live in
to
a community
someone.
where there's so much, there's so many talented people. There's so many people doing something great for themselves,
Right.
for the community,
Right.
but they don't have a voice.
Exactly.
To voice all those things. So I think the fact that you're giving like not just artists, but you're giving like people, barbers, tattoo artists, DJs, people who do nails. I don't know, like stuff. You're giving so many people a voice, bro, and I think that is your purpose. And we were talking about that purpose thing earlier. Like it's very interesting to sit here with you and like. You're actually fulfilling that purpose of yours, bro. Your purpose was to give people a voice.
Yeah.
Give yourself a voice.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing, bro. I think you should always look at that as like what you're doing right now is a blessing, man. And
Yeah, no, dude, I appreciate you, and I appreciate literally like anyone who'll come on and agree to do it, because really, like, what do you get out of it other than like the little bit of exposure that you'll get to like a different audience? It's like I take it as like, damn, like shout out to X, Y, and Z person for coming on and like doing this, because like I said, like what does anyone get out of it in a way, But it's like, dude, I've always been of the belief that I love like talking to people. I love like like I don't want to call it marketing, but just like like getting to know like different people and
giving
different
people
crowds,
the
like
exposure.
yeah, like understanding like what it is they're doing, like why they're doing it, like kind of like that. So I think just naturally it was something that I didn't feel like, dude, like when I was like kind of like getting ready to do this, I wasn't more so worried about like, damn, like what am I gonna say, like how good am I gonna be at this? Like it was more like how do I get it, how do I promote it, like how do I get these people to like agree to come out, like stuff like that.
Right.
It was like that was more so what I was like would anyone even like wanna come on, like that was honestly like my biggest like thing starting it up. I think that's kind of what I was most hesitant about.
Yeah.
Was like, who's gonna think this is lame, like like in a way like that. But you start to just tell yourself like, dude, regardless, like whatever you do, like you like someone's gonna think you're lame. Like, bro, people think fucking like
People hate every day, bro.
yeah, people think like every billionaire in the world is lame in some way. It's like, dude, like it's only lame until it's not.
People
You know what I
hate
mean?
Every day, bro. But then again, people support every day. So I can't pay attention to that stuff, man.
And you know what, dude? I feel like with music, that's like, I feel like that's the biggest, that's the biggest thing that you can put yourself out there for for people to like criticize.
Judge you.
Yeah, because you're literally
God,
like this is whatever, like just like turn a blind eye, like it doesn't matter. But I feel like with music, it's literally like oh, so like if something's good, like you're literally like listen to this, and it's like tell me if it's good or not. Like that's literally what music is. It's like people have to decide whether they like it or not. So you're putting yourself out there to be judged and criticized, and like, and I think that that's like you and anyone else who does that. Like that's why I like commend those people. I'm like, dude, that's what's
Thank
up,
you.
man.
I look at it differently though, bro. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I feel like when I started making music, I used to be afraid of it, of course. That was my biggest thing was like, man, if I put this out, like all my homies are probably gonna think that I'm fucking trash, like all these people that I know or the people I go to high school with. At the time I was in high school, like how I'm gonna get bullied, because people are gonna be like, man, Andre sucks, whoopty whoop, like why is he doing that, and that actually affected me so much, bro, because it actually made me not want to do it. I built so much fear in myself. It created a fear within myself, like an insecurity that like people were gonna judge me, because I feel like coming from a Latino family and stuff, we grow up with that like hardcore judgment, because that's what comes with our culture, sadly, so I was very afraid of being judged for it, which I was judged for it. I can sit here and tell you like, bro, people to this day people hate on me, but I learned to take that and make good use of it. Like I learned to say, fuck what anybody thinks, it's what I think, and that has gotten me to where I'm at. Like now I can make a song and be like, fuck it, I'm gonna put it out. I don't care what anyone says, and most of the time, bro, I don't receive the hate face to face. Like no one's in my DM talking about, oh, you're trash, you're this, you're that. It always happens behind my back, and for me, that's totally fine, brother. As long as everything I'm getting is love and support, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, which is important, bro. Honestly, like as like a creator or like whatever, because
people hate because they're miserable with themselves, not with you.
Yeah, and it's good to put it in that perspective, I think, and to see it as that way rather than the reverse. Like, oh, like why don't they like me? Why don't they like what I'm doing? It's like you can't do that because regardless, dude, like. Your stuff could be the best thing out there. Like there's always gonna be somebody like but it could be this way.
Right,
it could be that way. Like it's like, like you what is all that for? But I mean, either way though, like on that same note, like I think I'm grateful for like either side. I don't care because it's like if you're responding, like that's fine. Like
it's a part of it.
Yeah, and dude, I mean, fucking like shit. Gladly, I've never gotten that, like, where someone will comment, because I think because it's so local, like, and I know who the fuck, like, the person is, like, they won't say it. Like, and I think you can kind of feel, like, similarly to that, but, we just gotta fucking keep, like, at it and doing our thing.
With music, I learned that people will shake your hand and they'll be the same ones that are, like, talking shit behind your back, But I learned to just take it, bro, and not let that get to my mental, because at the end of the day, that'll bring you down instead of bringing you up. And I'm all about staying positive. That's kind of what's gotten me as far as I've gotten right now, currently where I'm at. Just staying positive about everything, bro,
Yeah.
Getting too in your head and becoming negative about what this person's saying, or if you don't feel like getting that imposter syndrome, that ruins a lot of careers, bro. It holds a lot of people back because they lose faith in themselves because they don't feel like they're good enough because their mom or their dad told them that they weren't good enough, or their uncle or whatever, and that's not okay, bro. We always got to keep a positive mindset. That's what will get us far in life. It's always staying optimistic, welcoming everyone in our lives, no matter who it is, no matter what walk of life. Should always, welcome people with open arms. The music that I make, I try to always, put it out to different audiences. I try to stay versatile, so everyone has like a specific song that they like, no matter where you come from,
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro, it's all about keeping an open mind, and I commend you. I respect you for what you're doing, bro, because out here, not a lot of people, have that mentality that you have, bro. Just giving people like me a voice is such an opportunity that I think anyone out here should take. Anyone that you reach out to should take this,
Yeah.
Like, this is beautiful, bro.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
amazing.
Because there's like a numerous amount of people that I felt that with where like, like dude, like I'm talking about like A-list celebrities or like artists that make music or whatever, right? And I never like I won't listen to their stuff. Like I don't really like jam out to them or whatever. And then I'll see them go on the podcast, and I'll be like, you see a different side of them,
Yeah.
and then you kind of start to like them in a
Yeah.
weird way,
Yeah.
because you see who they are, you see how they act, and then like all of a sudden you connect with them,
Mhm.
and I think I think that's why like podcasts are so saturated, to be honest, because I mean they work, like you get to see like different sides of people, and I think that like yeah, you see that like on a bigger scope, like on a bigger scale, but like we don't have it like locally, and so thankfully like I mean
vulnerability.
yeah, exactly. So I do, like I said, like I appreciate like anyone that's come on, and anyone that's like in the future gonna come
Right.
on, and you like coming on. But dude, I kind of like, and we'll kind of like end with this. Like one more thing that I wanted to ask you that I kind of thought about is like we were talking right now, like with your music, right? Like I guess like what is it that drives you to make more music? Like is it like how it makes you feel? Is it like the way that people are like receptive to your music? Like the way that you're able to like express yourself through that form? Like I'm sure it's a mix of all these things, but like what is it that stands out the most to you? Like when you're like in the lab, I guess you could say.
What motivates me most is my feelings. Like, it depends on how I'm feeling that day.
Mm-hmm.
When I started making music, I didn't care. I didn't really care about how I felt or what the music was going to be about. I was talking about fucking a bunch of random shit,
Uh-huh.
As I got older, I started to mature more. I realized that music could be my way out. It could be like you could use it as like a therapy if you want to call it that. And so I started to take it more serious in the aspect of like, all my songs were dependent on of how I felt. So if, let's say one day I was feeling down, I was feeling a little sad, going to my studio in my house, and I would make a song about how I felt that day. I felt sad, okay, well, it's going to be a little sad song, if I felt like Cuatro K came along because I was in a great mood that day. I had just gotten a night of like partying and shit, so I come and I'm like, I'm going to make this hit song right now, And so it was more like a party song, But I got other songs out there that are very vulnerable, that come from like a place of like a deeper place, I always tell people, if you want to get to know me, listen to my music. I feel like a lot of my music is very, very vulnerable. I make very vulnerable music. I like to put my feelings out there because that's, in my opinion, that's what the art is for.
Yeah.
And then you get people, the audience, to connect with you in that aspect, And then this is a dope opportunity, bro, because then I get my audience to connect with me in a whole another side of me that they probably don't know of,
Yeah. I mean, obviously, right? You can only do so much through like a 90-second reel or like a music video, like
Exactly.
stuff like that. So I do think that it's like you're doing your audience a disservice also by not doing something like that. So yeah, like I said, bro, I'm really glad you hopped on. And dude, that's like you just even speaking about like the purpose. It's not like obviously it's something like for you like internally, but also like you're putting something out there for people to connect with how you're feeling, because so many people feel certain ways at different times, and one of the ways that people cope is through music. Right? So
I think every music has been around forever, bro. It's a part of human nature.
Uh-huh.
Like cavemen were making music.
Yeah.
So
right.
that just goes to show how deep it is and how much of a connection us as humans have to music, bro. And we listen to music every day. You get in your car, you listen to music. You're at the store, you listen to music. Like no matter what, you will always have a connection to music. So my goal with my music is to create that connection with others and, give that opportunity to other people to have feelings.
Yeah.
Feel validated with their feelings through music, connecting with me.
To be able to express their own,
Exactly.
through that.
Through that.
Yeah, man, dude, keep doing that, bro. Keep doing that. Like I said, bro, like, dude, like dude, like, I'm being sincere when I tell you that Cuatro K is like so good. And like, I was listening to like some of your other stuff as well. It's like slower stuff, like, whatever. But dude, Cuatro K is just like a through and through, just like a banger.
Yeah, it's one of those that I made with the mentality of like, this,
Yeah.
I wanted this to be one of those clubs.
Yeah.
I want this to be played at the club, in your car, when you're about to sleep, when you're going out for work,
Yeah.
when you're at the gym. Like, that was one of those songs where I wanted it to, really hit.
Yeah, man, I'm honestly excited to see like what you have coming up, and like, being able to like get with people from around here and kind of like link up, connect,
Thank you.
continue that
I'm
here.
very excited
So,
for the future, man. I do have an album that I'm working on right now. I don't have like no release date yet, but hopefully for the winter I'm able to release this. So I'm working on something at the moment.
Man, dude, I'm looking forward to that, and I'll be asking you like some more things about that. So cheers for now,
Cheers
man.
to that, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. For real. And thank you guys, anyone that's still watching, tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did what I said to do at the beginning, but I'm gonna put this little thing here again for you guys to fucking do it again. And yeah, man.
Hear me and beer me, baby.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and give Andre a follow on all socials. Stream his music. Keep an eye out for what's to come. And yeah, man.
It's a official _Andre AN and then the 6RE.
6RE
on Instagram.
That's actually pretty dope, to be honest. Like, it's like different.
You know what's funny? Before we end it, my name is all fucked up, bro. Like, it's all fucked up. My name is An6re, right? But when I came up with my name, because that's my legal name is An6re, is Andre, But when I came up with my name, I wanted it to be different, so I took the 6. Right, I put a 6 and replace a D.
Yeah.
But then I mirrored it in like Google on a mirrored text generator.
Yeah.
So it's like super hard to find me on like music.
Oh,
on
like
Spotify
on
and shit. So because of that, hoping I can change my name hopefully soon, just to put that back to a normal 6.
Got it.
But yeah.
Oh, that's crazy
_
that
Andre.
happened, dude.
Yeah, I'm such an idiot. I was young, bro.
So you literally have to like copy Andre as you've got it with the weird
bro.
6 and then.
And then look it up
wow.
on. I mean, yeah, you could do that, or if like Cuatro K, you can probably find on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff easily. But other than that, yeah, I fucked up.
Shit, hopefully you get that fixed.
Right.
Hell yeah. But alright, man. Fucking, we're out of here.
Wow.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.